Yo, people, it's your boy, Ethan Hobbyist Butcher, Mr. Maintain, whatever you want to call me. I go by it. Um, Today I just want to do a video based on the idea of no problems, only opportunities. As you can see, I pointed English. I pointed to it in a lot of my videos that I've recorded so far. And this is a notion that I want to talk about. I think us as a people, we need to understand that nothing that happens in our life is meaningless. Nothing that happens in our life is not filled with wisdom. Everything that happens in our life, we can extract some form of wisdom, some form of knowledge, or some form of lesson from it. And I think as a people, we need to be able to appreciate that fact. One thing that has taught me that a lot is my trading career, and also things going on in my life with family members and just multiple things. There's no problems, only opportunities, and it's difficult to understand this idea if you do not put yourself in a specific mind frame or mindset due to your environment. Your environment determines how you think a lot because you are surrounded by the same things, what you surround yourself by, the music you listen to, the people you speak to, the things you ingest, the movies you watch, the conversations you have, they all determine your mental framework and how you perceive things and how you decide to act upon different things. And what I mean by no problems, only opportunities is that everything that happens in your life is an opportunity to grow. Everything that happens in your life is an opportunity to gain knowledge and gain wisdom in order to better yourself as a person, in order to to strengthen your spirit, to strengthen your persistence, to allow you to see things from different points of view and different viewpoints. Sometimes you can only see things. For example, I might get a bit scientific here, but a 2D being cannot perceive what's beyond the line. You draw a line in front of a 2D being, it can't see that there's something behind the line, and sometimes we're three-dimensional beings or whatever you want to call it, living in what I believe is a four-dimensional world, if that's the way, or four-dimensional, five-dimensional, whatever you want to say. We often perceive stuff from the place where we are, not from a place where we can be. We often decide to look at something straight on, whereas if you go above, you go up a few stairs, you develop yourself a little bit, you climb a few stories, you get an elevator and you look at it from a bit higher up, you realize that there were so many more avenues and so many more pathways for you to decide your next move, decide where you put your next foot down, and I think that's something that we need to pay attention to a little bit more. Trading has given me this viewpoint on life in terms of everything I do now, I do it as trade alike as possible. And it sounds funny to say, but it's one of my biggest blessings that if I never make a dime from this trading thing, I'm still happy that I embarked upon this journey because it allows you to view things from so many different aspects. And when you're in a certain environment, you can't see these different pathways from, like I said, that two-dimensional space. It's important for you to go on walks, for example, isolate yourself, to be able to think for yourself, to be able to feel for yourself, and to be able to understand things for yourself. Because nobody can tell you what's best for you or the best direction for yourself to a certain aspect, because nobody knows what you're thinking and what you want to do and how you perceive things. Someone might explain something to you in a certain way, and it is what you need to hear, but you can't understand it. For example, when you're in school and you have one maths teacher 1 year, how many kids do you know that go to school? They're rubbish in year four, and then they go to year five and they're the maddest mathematician. It's because number one, obviously they've grown up, but number two, it might be because they're getting things explained to them and described to them and they're perceiving things differently. It's the same with life. Your perception of different things that occur on a day-to-day basis is completely gonna change the way your mental framework works in terms of figuring out the best solution for a problem that you are currently in. And like I said, you can't experience that if you're only listening to the same people constantly and you find yourself in the same situation. Can't remember who said it, but doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. Um, but often in life, we find ourselves doing that over and over and over again, and it's nonsensical. It makes no sense, but yet we continue to do it, and we continue to not perceive this idea that maybe we are not looking at it right, maybe we are not right, maybe what I've said isn't correct. And this is because the way the brain works, the human brain, we look for pieces of information to support our notion. We look for pieces of information that support what we want to see or what we believe. We don't look for the latter. And as a trader, it's important to look at why, if you get into a buy and you're buying Euro JPY up to a certain level, there's a reason why you believe it's going to go up. But there's also many reasons why other people are going to sell and other people want to see price move down. You have to be conscious of both variables and both things. You can't completely ignore what's actually in front of you and the possibilities that lie ahead. It's Murphy's law. Anything that can happen will happen. Anything that can happen will happen. Whether it happens now, 2 years later, a month later, Murphy's law states that anything that can happen will happen. And we need to understand this because, like I said, I just keep repeating myself. Perception will either be your prison or your passport. And I have a video on my page called that. I just wanted to come on here and say that because something that's helped me a lot recently, and it's something that I think we need to pay attention to because you'll never escape your environment if you don't allow yourself to perceive it from all angles and every situation you're dealing with from all angles. So manners and respect my people, no problems, only opportunities.